On this episode of Gun Talk Hunt, we're talking to Neil Sanders of SDS Arms, but we're not talking about what you're thinking. We're talking about cabin build-outs.
Hey, I'm KJ, dedicated lifelong hunter here. If you got an interest in all things hunting, you're in the right spot. Whether chasing quail across the plains of Oklahoma or in pursuit of elk in the backcountry of British Columbia, you'll always find me on the hunt.
All right, welcome in all you Gun Talk hunters. I'm your host, KJ, and we are sitting here with Neil Sanders. Welcome in, Neil. Hope you're doing good today. First, before we jump into this is brought to you by Timney Trigger, Snap Safe, and First Person Defender FPD. Go check them out. All right, so we've got a great show for you today. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about Neil Sanders, who he is, what he's doing on the show. Then we're going to talk a lot about building your camp to maximize your time in the field, the enjoyment of it. Neil has extensive experience in building solid camps, and one that I'm particularly interested in is building out like those, like the shipping container type stuff, and get his thoughts on what he's done there. But it's all about, this is camp, man. This is camp stories. And then don't forget, we do have a listener question this week. This week we're going to answer, what's the weirdest thing you've ever seen in the woods or swamp? And then our new listener question that you guys can reach out to us, kj@guntalk.com. Don't forget to engage there. We're going to ask another question that you guys will want to hang on to listen to, and then you can have your stuff read on the air. Let's jump into it. Neil, welcome in. Give us a little bit of your background and what you're up to.
So yeah, I've got 25 years in the outdoor industry, from working on the publishing side, with Peterson's Hunting and Guns and Ammo and all those guys, to I ran sales and marketing at Thompson Center for a number of years, and I was at Traditions and Cuddyback running sales and marketing there, and worked for Mossy Oak for a while. So yeah, over that 25 years, I've been around the industry a little bit, and my dad always told me I was in mainstream advertising, kind of like one of your buddies that's in your office was in more mainstream advertising.
Yeah.
And my dad always said, if you could find something that you love to do as a hobby and get paid for it, that's the perfect job. And I left mainstream advertising and got into this crazy outdoor business.
What would make you do that? You could be so wealthy right now.
I know it. I would be so much richer. I'd be doing this from my, yacht somewhere or something like that. Or one of my mini cabins. Maybe this one would be in like Montana or something right now. But oh well.
Yeah, that's one of those things that I do hear that a lot, that, man, you must have the greatest job ever. And I have a wonderful job. I love what I do. Wouldn't trade it for the world. But it is still a job. Like you still go to work, you grind it out, and you just hope that you're doing the right things and by the right people. And that's pretty much, it's still a job. Yeah,
right. And, right now actually running sales and marketing for SDS Arms. So it's, we've got 5 different brands under SDS, and we're having a lot of fun going out and coming up with innovative designs and fun new products, on whether it's pistols or tactical shotguns or hunting shotguns or rifles and everything in between.
You guys get to play in all the sandboxes. What's your favorite sandbox to play in, though? Is it Mac? Is it Tisas? Tokarev? What's typically your favorite, like, go-to?
Mac is fun because it's cool stuff. MP5s and our new IX little PCC, that's fun. The double stacks, of course, are a blast. My favorite gun to shoot is the JSOC.
Yeah.
N45, because it's a match barrel and it shoots great. But my heart is still in hunting. So under a Spandau brand. So I like to be in the dove fields and in the duck blinds and in the turkey woods, and then soon in the deer woods.
Yep.
So that's where more of my passion is.
Yeah.
Personally.
And I think
we still make enough stuff in that realm yet.
Yeah.
But we're working on it.
Yeah, I think everybody is kind of in the getting ready for fall movement right now, and especially as we kind of head out and we transition out into the fields as far as like prep, like we're going and checking our camps and we're checking our feeders and starting those trail cam up and running. So let's jump into this. Let's talk about making your camp and making it yours and what goes into that. What would be kind of what has been your process in developing your camp, and talk a little bit about the process of what you had envisioned and where you are now.
Well, yeah, I live in Texas, and hunting land for as much open land as there is hard to find.
Yeah.
And so we have, I have a lease, and that we lease the ground, and we've been on it 7 years now, and we have nothing. We have no power. We have no water.
It's a primitive camp.
It is a primitive camp. And literally the first year, I had one of my backpacking tents, and that's what I slept in.
Yeah.
And I quickly realized it was a bad idea because there's cows on the property. And one of the landowner had opened up a gate to let these cows move into an area, and we didn't know they were there. And I don't know, 4:30 in the morning, it literally, and I was on a cot in my tent, but I guess my arm was up against it or something. I feel something push me over, and I was like, "What in the world?" And it was a cow nudging the tent, and I said,
funny.
"Okay, this is not going to work for me."
No.
But you think through the process of how can I get the comforts of, it doesn't have to be home, but to make this a little more comfortable regardless of the weather.
Right.
And, how can I get, the necessities with better shelter, better water as an option, power, and all those.
Yeah.
And so we had a good spot where we were, and there's 4 of us on it, and they all have campers, RV campers,
right?
That they, one's a fifth wheel, and the other 2 are also pull behinds, but not fifth wheels, a little bit smaller. And so I, was trying to figure out what I was going to do, and that was around the time of the pandemic, and the pricing for a camper,
outrageous.
Tripled. Oh yeah. It was if you could even find one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of was in a pickle trying to figure out what I could do, and then I thought, maybe I buy me a, one of those sheds that
Oh yeah.
behind your house, and then just convert it into into a living quarters. And so then I was kind of thinking about that and looking at the pricing, and then there, most of them you can't really move very easily. And so I was kind of like, I don't know. And, some of them you can buy and you can kind of put them together yourself. So I was like, yeah, I might be able to do that. But then what if the lease goes away and the owner says, we're not going to let you have it anymore. Or, I sold the land and you're out, or whatever. And so I was kind of like, well, I don't know if that's going to work. So, that's kind of where I came up with my current living quarters, which checks all the boxes, which is a Connex shipping container.
So it's funny that we're talking about the Connex shipping containers, and I've had multiple conversations with different shipping container companies that build these things out like cabins. and they are so expensive. The shipping container itself, in what I have seen online, is not that expensive, because I've gone down the rabbit hole of, well, could I build one myself? Like, what do I need to do that? And what does that look like? You can do it. And we're going to find out what Neil did, but I've gone through the same evolution as you have. I'm just not to the point of like building one out yet. I think that's the next step that I'm going to just have to bite the bullet and do. But I bought a cheap, I think I paid $500 for like a 32-foot bumper pull. It was hot garbage. I'm going to tell you, it was getting it to the lease and to the hunting grounds was hilarious, because it's like 32 foot long, and I parked it out there. The problem with that, though, like a lot of shelters, is fire. Out in my area, we had a grass fire. It caught fire, burned the whole thing down. So I was out $500. So it wasn't it's a huge deal, because now I didn't have to like sleep with all the rats. They were all gone. My wife would not sleep in that thing. When we went out there, she'd be like, "Did you bring your tent?" And I was like, "Yes, I brought the tent." Like, no one would sleep in there by the end, because they were like, "Dude, you're just sleeping with rats." I was like, "Well, they don't bother me." Like, so like,
yeah, they're just my roommates.
Yeah, they just understand, like, hey, that back room is mine. The rest of the cabin, like, or the rest of the like trailer is theirs. I think they were really sad when it burned down. I really do.
They picked up all the crumbs.
I know. Like, they kept it relatively in good mouse condition.
Right.
But like, and then I've done the camping in the back of the truck. Like, I do that. And I'd like, if I'm by myself and not hunting with my kids, I will sleep in the back of my truck. Like, that doesn't bother me one bit. There's like little things that are just an annoyance, like having to pull everything out if you have to load up a deer, and like little stuff like that is kind of a big deal in the long run. But like you, Neil, like I'm still kind of searching for that solution, and I think the container home is the way to go. But real quick, we're going to take a real quick break. We're going to jump in here with a real quick break from our sponsors, but let's find out on the other side of this how this build out goes, because that's what I'm really interested in building a successful camp. Feel like your trigger's holding you back more than your ex? Fix that with the Timney Alpha competition trigger for the Ruger RXM. It's got a crisp 3-pound pull, no adjustments, no drama, just pure, smooth performance. It installs easier than IKEA furniture and comes fully hand-assembled, tested, and calibrated by real humans, not robots or over-caffeinated raccoons. Made in the USA and backed by a legendary lifetime warranty, yes, it will make you more accurate. The rest is on you. On the road to elk camp or just parked at your favorite rest stop, your gear needs real protection. The Snap Safe Trunk Safe 2 is built like a vault with 13-gauge steel walls, a 6-gauge steel door, and 8 locking lugs that tells thieves, not today. Stash your rifle, tools, or important documents. This beast handles it all. Gas shocks make opening smooth. The digital lock, programmable. The key backup, always ready. Whether it's in your SUV, RV, or truck bed, Snap Safe's got your 6. First Person Defender YouTube page is out. You got to go like, comment, and subscribe, and I promise you're going to like what you see over there, because you are going to get a view. Each week, we're going to be launching new episodes. Season 14 is coming out soon, so get over there and check it out. You got to like, comment, and subscribe. We want to push this thing out because we want more people becoming more aware of their personal safety. If you like tips, tactics, watching people and seeing how they react, and you being the Monday morning quarterback that you are, I know you're going to love it, because you're going to say, whoa, I wouldn't have done that. I would have done it totally different. Well, would you have? Because I'm going to be honest with you right now. There are a lot of people out there that says, I'm going to just turn it on. I'm going to know when my attack comes. Well, if you know when your attack is coming, I sure as heck wouldn't be there. But watching First Person Defender gives you the opportunity to say, Yep. I wouldn't be in that situation because I'm going to see it way before that. And you're training your mind. All right. So go like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube page over there. The First Person Defender is going to be hot. Hey, get your heads up. Heads up, right up here. Tactical treasure hunters, beware. Optics Planet just became your new favorite adult toy store for gear. Let's get that out of the way. Want scopes, red dots, night vision, and stuff totally you probably don't need but will absolutely buy anyway? Yeah, I thought so. Use promo code GUNTALK at checkout and get 5% off your order. That's right, 5%. Not 2, not 3, 5. Like the fingers you'll use to type that code in while pretending this wasn't my idea. So go to Optics Planet, check it out, enter code GUNTALK, and get your 5% off. All right, we're back with Neil Sanders of SDS Arms, and we're talking about building like your camp layout and building it to your specs and what you find comfortable. And Neil was just about to jump in. I kind of shanghaied the last part of that conversation because like we both have kind of similar routes into where Neil is currently, and it sounds like I'm headed in that direction, and is building out a Connex for your camp. So, Neil, I'm going to just let you take it from here with limited interruptions because I'm very interested to hear how you went about this and how long it took.
Well, so it was during the pandemic, trying to come up with a shelter. There's a company not far from, it's based in the same town as where my lease is, that does these decked out shipping containers.
Yeah.
I mean, they do 2-story ones. They have full baths.
Man, that's what I would want.
Raise the floor so plumbing's on. I mean, they're unbelievable.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to spend that kind of money.
It's a lot. We're talking like $60,000, $70,000 easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
And I said, I don't need 40-foot, the high, what do they call them? High rack or high, whatever. They're 9.5 feet inside on the inside. I said, I don't need anything like that. I need like a 20-foot. I don't care if it's dented and rusty and all that on the outside. They come watertight. So I found one. I went to the yard, found one, and it was a blemish.
Oh, really?
So it's beat up a little bit more than normal. So I said, how much for that? And, at the time, $1,250. And we'll deliver it.
What?
And I said, good, because I'm about 3 miles down the road. And they're like, wow, okay, that's super easy. So they dropped it and where I wanted it. It wasn't exactly, but I got my truck and some tow straps and kind of scooted it along. And then I've got a big floor jack. I jacked up the end, put a railroad tie under it on each side to get it more level the way I wanted it. Plus, it's not sitting down in the dirt as much, but they have a wooden floor and then of course metal sides and all that. And I was like, that's perfect, and I faced it to the big double doors that faces south. So you get more light when you open the doors. So then I went through the process of, basically going in and studying out and creating, with 2x4s, an internal frame inside it. Ran power. So I had plugs, every 6-8 feet. I ran lighting on the inside. I put in a foam core board that had a radiant barrier and put that in between the wall and the studs.
Yeah.
And then I came in and I put a wall. So you open up the double doors and I made like a little porch. So when you open up the double doors, you step up in it. And I put a wall with like a patio door. So it's a half window, right? Patio door. And then a small window. And then I put a window unit and built it into the wall up out of the way.
Okay.
The reason doing that was I could put a generator on the porch, so to speak, or whatever, and then I can still close it up, lock it, and it's still secure. Right. So I did that. I ended up putting a garage sink or like a basement sink out there on that. But inside, I built in shelves and a counter, brought in an under counter fridge that's counter height and below. Okay. Microwave. I have a cooktop that's my Coleman from Scouts. Yeah. If I need to cook anything that way. And then in the back, I built bunk beds for me and my kids. Yeah. And then I brought in a futon. So if I need a comfy couch or open it up for more, mounted a TV. I came in I used plywood, just thin plywood for wall finishes, but then I insulated it. Okay. Because again, I had studs. Once I knew where all my power and I was good with all that, I went ahead and insulated all of it and then just had basically plywood walls. And that was on the surface, the way it was. I bought from the Habitat for Humanity place, they had carpet tile, 2-foot carpet tile, threw the carpet tile down on the floor. And, you've got everything you really need. I drilled a hole in it. I ran a external cellular antenna. Yeah. And then I have a cell booster that I use. So that way I can use my phone as a hotspot. Yeah. Tie into my TV, because inside the container, you get no cell signal. Right. So with that external antenna, I've got great cell service inside the container. I bought I think they're 250 gallon,
the big water tanks.
Pallet. Yeah. Yeah. A water container. I put that on the roof, and then I ran a hose, split it, it comes into the sink that's on my little porch. And then the other side goes to a spigot to where I can shower off outside. Right. But then I have, running water that I can wash with or whatever. And then I bring water in, pump it up into it, and refill it. I don't drink it, but I have a camping Sawyer filter. Right. That if I really had to, I could run my water through that and it would still be drinkable and fine. And then I run a 3,500 watt inverter generator that's quiet. It'll run, whether it's heat or air, depending on what's going on. It'll run 9 to 13 hours on a tank on 2.5 gallons.
Right. I mean, man.
I'm good to go. I ended up building a deck, like a 10 by 10 foot deck.
Oh, really?
When I open up the doors. Yeah, and I put some little patio furniture out on that. I got a big fire pit out there that we hang out. And, when we were skinning a deer this past fall, had a big fire going, hanging out. I put some solar lights on it so that way I don't have to, if I'm not running the generator, I can.
You have lights.
Run everything out to solar lights, and had a big fire going, and some adult libation around the campfire. It's so. And actually, I was on the phone 30 minutes ago with a container company because I need another one because I want to store my 4-wheeler, and I'm in the process of trying to get a side-by-side. Yeah. I don't want to haul it back and forth, and I don't want to leave it sitting out. And that way I could stick it in there, close it, lock it, and again, it's safe. That's the great thing about it is when I leave, I roll my generator in there, roll everything up, close it, and can lock it. And if someone wants bad enough, they can cut locks and get in. But Or if something happens and the lease goes away or whatever, I can get that pulled up on a flatbed and relocate it to
wherever you want.
To somewhere else. And unlike the other guys that have the little trailers, they have visitors, kind of like your trailer had.
Yes.
They have visitors on a regular basis.
Oh, yeah.
And they leave little gifts for them. So when we come rolling
all over
into
their
camp,
pillows.
yeah, all of it. When we come rolling into camp, I open up mine and get it all in, and a lot of times it's late, it's after work and we get there really late. And I'm like, all right, good night, and he comes in. Oh my gosh, can I sleep on your bunk? Why? Well, the mice left me a bunch of gifts on my pillow and in my bed because they got into the camp. And of course, I don't have ants. I don't have spiders. I don't have anything. And I even store corn and protein on my little porch and close it in there. Nothing gets to it.
Is that, that would be my one concern is especially where I'm at. I mean, obviously the mice are a problem, but snakes too. Do you have any issues with leaking as far as like water or anything like that?
Nothing. It is watertight. It is watertight and, I can't see, it's not airtight because there are vents, up on the side. But it is, I've never had anything get in it. And we've had tornadoes run through, ripped a roof off one of the other campers and all that. Well, that thing weighs a lot of, they're heavy. Yeah. I'm good. So when there's a really bad storm running through, everyone comes to mine. And, we sit there and turn on the TV and hang out on the couch and we're good.
Do you have any, there's so many questions. So did you lay down a foundation of any sorts, like a pad or anything, or just flat on the ground?
It's on the ground. Well, it's on railroad ties.
Right.
So it's sitting, one end is sitting about that high off the ground and the other end's about that high off the ground.
Right.
Just because I made it kind of level. But yeah, that's it. I do have some critters that are occasionally getting up underneath.
Yeah.
That, I've heard and smelt. There's ways to get rid of those.
My nemesis.
And then I did repaint it on the outside, so I've got a, little spray painter and painted the roof and, all the outside. So at least it looks a little better.
Yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to repaint it. I don't want to draw attention to it. It's just a container, how do you,
mine was mainly to knock the rust, to cover the rust.
Yeah.
Because mine was pretty banged up and there was a lot of rust on it.
How do you secure it when you leave? Is it just like a padlock type deal or?
Yeah, they sell, the place where I got them, they'll put the big fancy kind of lock box on it.
Yeah.
I chose not to pay the extra money for that, and so mine is like an 18-wheeler, when they close, and you can put 2 padlocks on it or whatever, and that's what I do. So they could somebody could cut those off and get in there, but all the guys campers, they just leave them unlocked. Because come take whatever you want, just don't tear it up.
Right. But I would have an issue. I guess my issue would be like, I would want to leave stuff down there. That way I don't have to keep carting it back, but back and forth. That would be my big thing, is just being able to leave something down there.
Yeah. Yeah. And I have left, some of my guns and stuff in there, like especially in the middle of season when I'm kind of back and forth on a pretty regular basis.
Yeah.
And we've got one of the other guys, he's in the industry. And he works remote. So a lot of times he's there in the middle of the week. And so, on our place, you never know when we're going to be there. So in the middle of the season, there's usually not a lot of days that go by between all of us that somebody's not there. And so during that, I'll leave some guns there and stuff like that.
Well, and that's, I mean, for me, it'd be like weeks at a time when I went down there. Like, but as far as like working time, how long did the build out take you? Because I think that's what kind of my fear is that, you know, I might get to work on it a weekend here or there unless I'm like, you know what, I'm going to dedicate a whole week. We're going to go down there. We're going to knock it out. Maybe a couple buddies of mine. But how long did that take you?
I would say on work. So if we looked at it, because again, it was a weekend here and a weekend there, and then I took, you know, an extra day or two off work and spent 4 days. I would probably say it took 8 days.
Okay.
Right. So, and I probably could have done it faster than that, but a lot of it, I was by myself.
Right.
It was just me. You know, sometimes, you know, one of my buddies was there, and so we would knock out. I mean, you could knock some stuff out pretty fast.
Right.
But most of the time I was there, and I was, you know, or my son was with me or something, which was not, you know, here, hold the screws.
Right. He's the gopher. That's what I was when I was a kid. Yeah. I was the gopher.
Yeah. Give me a drink. So, you know, I would probably say it was 6 to 8 days. I mean, kind of full days of working. Because a lot of times, you know, I got to run into town and get some more lumber. Or, you know, I had to order. I couldn't get, because it's a little bitty town where my lease is, and so I couldn't get it there. Or, you know, I got it here in Dallas, and I would lug it up there because I've got 100 Home Depots to choose from, you know, on materials and stuff like that.
Right.
But yeah, I would probably say 6 to 8 days worth of, you know,
worth of efforting.
Work. Yeah.
Man, it seems like I know it's the right thing to do. And that's just the thing, is that I know the path that I need to take. I just need to bite the bullet. And I was not willing to pay, you know, $70,000 to $90,000 to have something built out that I know could be done for much less. And I mean,
I might have $3,000 in it.
Really? Well, I mean, you're talking a lot less than what a camper would be.
Sure.
You know, I mean, and then you don't have the mice.
Mine will last forever.
Right.
And the rats can't get in it.
Yeah.
And the mice can't get in it.
Well, and you can move, and you can, and if you had to, you move it. It's a semi-permanent solution to an issue that you're going to have to come up with every year. And right now, my problem is I'm having to go, okay, now I need to find an Airbnb because I don't want to stay in a hotel because there's nothing around. It's either an Airbnb, and if those are all sold out, I've got to look at, then I'm going to camp out. Then I've got to look at my camping solution.
Right. Right.
And that's not as much fun as it sounds for a week.
And like you said, we're all ramping up right now, right?
Yeah.
And time to start ramping up, and we're putting new batteries on all the cameras, and you know, time to start loading up feeders more and all that, and start doing some inventory on the deer and what survived and what got hit by UPS truck, and you know, you start doing that. And I'm sorry, it's going to be August and 100,000 degrees, and that's a lot of times when we're doing all the work.
Yeah.
And so having an air conditioner, just like obviously in Louisiana, same thing.
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm actually going to make a change this year to one of those mini splits.
Yeah.
So right now I just have a little window unit, which is great for air conditioning. But in the winter, I have a smaller electric heater, ceramic heater.
Yeah.
And it's either hot or it's cold. And there is no little magic in between. And so you can pick up those mini splits for $250, $300, and they run heat and air, and they have a remote.
Yeah.
You know, so I
that'd be the way to go.
And just, So I'm going to make that upgrade this year.
It's a good plan, man. I know. And what was the dimensions of yours? What did you end up going with? Did you end up going with like a 20-foot?
Yeah. I went with a 20.
Yeah.
So I've got about 16 and a half feet interior by 8.
Okay, that's not bad at all.
You know, and it's my wife still won't go. But my kids do. Of course, now my kids are 21 and 18.
Yeah.
And they're all like, when can we go hunt pigs? When can we go hunt deer? Let's go. And, and I'm like, y'all fight over the top bunk and the futon. I don't care. I've got mine.
Yeah. That's my bed.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's jump into listener questions. Let's have you address, like, what's the weirdest thing you've seen in the woods or in the swamp? What's the weirdest thing that you've come across?
Well, a couple of different, some are natural and some not so much. A naked guy walking through the woods was odd.
That is odd. That would be a definitely a what in the heck is going on here kind of moment.
Yeah, he had a gun.
Oh,
he had a shotgun. Like I think it would look like a shotgun.
He had a shotgun and something else.
No, he had
just a shotgun.
Just a shotgun, right? And he was probably 7,500 yards away, and he's kind of walking across, and I was up in a deer stand with my bow, and I'm thinking, do I say something?
Like, dude,
he has a gun, and I'm looking through my binoculars, and they're my bow binoculars. They're not even 8. Well, they're probably 8 power, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, what is he doing, and where's he going?
Yeah.
And he had like hiking boots on, but nothing else.
Nothing else. No. And he must have had a bad bout with Taco Bell or something to get down to his boots. Like, that's the only thing I can think of.
And it was the weirdest. And it was when I lived in Mississippi. So but it was the strange. Where are you going? And this is on 2,400 acre lease.
No kidding.
So I was a mile from the public road. It was the weirdest.
Oh my gosh.
Was
yeah, I don't know why it took you so long to think of that one, because that one they would immediately stand out.
The whole piebald deer.
Yes.
When you've never really seen one on the hoof.
Yes. That's fair.
And one comes cruising through the woods right in front of you. You're like, is that real? Wait a minute. Wait. Yeah. It's white. What in the world?
Am I hallucinating again?
Yeah. Is that albino? No, it's got brown. That was a cool thing, right?
Yeah.
But a little more natural. Pigs do weird things.
Oh yeah.
Pig eating a doe I shot. That was weird.
That is odd.
Yeah. Hooking it and flipping it in the air, and then was like big boar. I didn't wait. it was the last day of season.
Yeah.
And I had shot a doe, and literally 3 minutes later, here comes this big boar coming out. And he comes up, walks right up to it, hooks it, flips this doe in the air. And I'm like, wait a minute. No, that's that's going in my freezer. That's mine.
You can't have that.
Yeah. So I shot him, and he was big and gnarly, and you couldn't eat him. But yeah, that was kind of
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've heard that they do that. But,
they do. Yeah. I've seen the videos all over my Instagram feed, and like, man, you're like, what in that? You don't think that they kill fawns, but they do. Hogs kill fawns, and it's one of those things. That's why, man, I will not hesitate to turn a deer hunt into a hog hunt if they cross paths.
Yeah.
Not scared to do it.
I've got hogs all over my lease, and we eat most of the ones we shoot.
Yeah.
The big boars we don't, but 125-pound sow and down to, and below.
Yeah. Good.
My wife doesn't know whether it came from the supermarket or, the deer lease.
See, that's important. If they can't tell, you're okay.
Yep.
All right. Your one last question, then I'm gonna turn it over to you to hear what your final thoughts are. But what's the one thing you take to camp, no matter what? Like, what's the one item?
Well, other than a gun.
Well, yeah. I exclude all the obvious ones. But maybe one like kind of random one that you never leave home without type of deal. I mean, I always assume dude wipes in single packets are a thing too. Like, I figure those are standard.
Jared turned me on to those.
Oh yeah, he's smart man.
Well, I don't know about that. But,
yeah. I don't even know if wise would be what I would say.
Yeah. But wow, I have to. That's.
Is there like a coffee that you have to take all the time, or?
No, but my coffee mug.
Okay.
I would probably say my coffee mug goes with me. I have a little Yeti mug that it goes with me everywhere.
Okay.
Of course, I don't have it now. I'm drinking at my Yeti.
Right. The bigger Yeti.
Electrolytes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I'd probably have to say my coffee mug because it pretty much goes. I take it on the road with me now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think you had it when you were down here.
I probably, yeah.
I think you had it.
I pretty much, it just goes with me everywhere.
That's awesome.
And what the great thing, it doesn't matter what's in it. It all tastes good.
Do you clean it regularly, or you just let the flavor set in?
Things that go in it kill whatever bacteria might be growing in it. So it's whether it's brown liquor or brown coffee or white liquor or whatever, it kills whatever's growing.
Good.
So
I like that.
It's seasoned. It's well seasoned.
Like a good cast iron skillet.
Right.
All right. I'm turning it over to you. I want to hear your final thoughts, anything that's on your mind lately, anything you're looking forward to. But I'm going to just give you the floor and let you provide your thoughts.
Yeah. This has been great. I'm hoping this year to get out in the woods a little bit more. I didn't get to go quite as much this past year. I'm super pumped about us expanding more into the hunting market. I miss the hunting market a lot. I spent a lot of time in it, and selfishly on the work side, having a really cool, innovative product in the hunting market is exciting to me. And talking about it and showing it to people and using it and getting out in the woods and being able to use it. I'm excited about that. I think I'm excited to get my kids are ready to go.
Yeah.
When can we go hunting? And they're already saying that. I'm like, you want to go sit outside right now? It's 105. Why do you want to? It doesn't matter. Okay. I guess. I mean, I got a 21-year-old daughter that none of her friends do any of it. And she's like, hey, when I come home, can we go hunting?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So that I did something right.
It sounds like you've done a lot right.
Working on it. It's a work in progress, right?
That's what it always is, man. Yeah. Well, Neil, I sure do appreciate you joining on, and we're going to have to catch back up during the season because I want to hear how it goes.
Yeah. Well, I got to, get down soon again with some of this other new product that we didn't have last month.
Oh, yeah.
So,
well, you're always welcome. Would always love to see you, man.
I appreciate it.
All right.
And we appreciate everything you guys do for us.
I appreciate it, Neil. All right. You guys know the drill. Keep those muzzles pointed in a safe direction and always be on the hunt.